Why we should read for pleasure? I think that reading is the best activity for everyone because it has its own a lot of advantages. Let me tell you about my story. I started reading approximately 2 years ago when I had very bad memory, and my friend gave me advice to start reading. Yes, it was very hard to start reading, to force myself to read books because I never do it before. I think that at this moment you should be persistent because when you try something new, you should turn it to your habit. And I forced myself to read approximately 30 minutes every day for books. And let me tell you about its advantages and how it changed my life. I think that first advantage is developing your memory, as I mentioned before, because at the moment of reading, you'll try to remember all of the characters, all of the stories of heroes, and your neurons in your brain will work better, and it will develop your brain working and your thinking, and it will improve your memory skills. And second advantage is, I think, is very important. It's getting a new knowledge. When I started reading, it was very hard, but I chose that books that I loved. For example, I started reading books for self-development, books of Brian Tracy, Robin Sharma, and Dale Carnegie, because I wanted to develop myself, to develop like identity, and I think that you should start reading that books that you want to read. Searching and third adventures, I think that I wanted to be successful in this life, and reading is the number one hobby of successful people. For example, Steve Jobs, Brian Tracy, and Bill Gates. All of these successful people read a lot of per week or per one day. For example, Steve Jobs reads 4 hours per day. Elon Musk, 1 book per week. Mark Cuban, 4 hours per day. And I think that reading is key for success. And how to start reading? I think that reading to force yourself to read. You should be very persistent, as I mentioned before. And first of all, you should choose that books that you want. For example, if your hobby is cooking, you can choose books about cooking and how to cook something. And if your hobby is, for example, football, you can read biographies of successful people, successful footballers such as Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. Just choose that books that are connected with your hobby, and I think that you should promise yourself to read. For example, read 15 minutes per day or 10 pages per one day, and I think that it will help you to develop yourself and change your life. Reading has a lot of other benefits, but I think that the main advantages that I said is getting new knowledge, developing your memory, and the key for success. It is the best advantages for myself, but you can create your own advantages because reading is like universal activity, and it will bring in your life only benefits. And I think that you should start reading. I will recommend to you to start reading because you can change your life and you can start your road to the dream. Thank you for your attention.